shout out to Dana Fairbanks. She shared an article on Twitter just to let you guys know that we're not just saying this to be inflammatory. This is out of the American Psychological Association. Black boys viewed as older, less innocent than whites, research finds. So what me and CJ were saying is not hyperbole. It is not. It says black boys as young as 10 may not be viewed in the same light of childhood innocence as their white peers, but are instead more likely to be mistaken as older, be perceived as guilty, and face police violence if accused of a crime, according to new research published by the American Psychological Association.
Hey, JB, how dare you bring this critical race theory to a conversation? You guys know this would technically count for that. This is what they want banned, this knowledge. But go ahead, JB. I just want to make that point. Go ahead.
Of course. A quote. This is from Dr. Philip Beta Golf. Says children in most societies are considered to be in a distinct group with characteristics such as innocence and the need for protection. Our research found that black boys can be seen as responsible for their actions at an age when white boys still benefit from the assumption that children are essentially innocent. This was
charged as an adult. Remember how many black boys have been charged as an adult?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say that, like, y'all don't even have to, read all this shit. Just go sit down in your local, in your local courts. Go sit down and see the ratio of blacks and whites going to jail. It's shocking because the first time I actually went to jail, I was 16. I went to jail for driving. I didn't have a license and proper plates. I didn't pay the. I basically told the judge, "Fuck you, I'm poor," and he sent me to jail. But it was shocking because it was a white dude who did the same thing, and he got sent home with, I ain't gonna say he was, he wasn't as bad towards the judge as me, but this man had priors. We was both around the same age, and like I said, just go sit in your court. You will see how racist, these courts and these judges, the prosecutors, even the lawyers actually are, and how systematic these things get. We can listen to sheriffs talking about hanging niggas in the good old days, but we can't talk about critical race theory. Come on.
To that point, like I literally hear white people like admit, like they will say, "Yeah, I got one racist uncle." Not what big deal. Big deal. Y'all got one racist uncle. Yeah, one racist grandpa. Come on, you guys blown out of proportion. And then you be like, "Hey, what's their job? What do they do? Oh, he's just a lawyer." You so they got well, for real. Ask them what their racist family members do, because I hear it all the time. I know you guys hear it too. When people be like, "Yeah, I know I got one racist family." What do they do? They're like, "Yeah, they're a teacher." What? You racistly a teacher? They're racistly a police officer? So we're not saying all white people are racist, but look at the positions that the racists have, and then they build those institutions. This is obvious, and then white America want to deny this.
That's why I say majority of white people are racist until proven different, because you can't tell me the majority of whites isn't racist or have some racism in them if they can sit here and watch us bomb the shit out of all these countries and just suck all the resources out of black and brown communities and not be upset about it. Like human to human type feeling. You're not upset about these black and brown people going through these things, then you like it. I don't know what else to say. I understand being afraid.
What explanation? Like, what is the other explanation, Rome? Like, what other explanation could there be, Rome? Right. What have you heard though? Because you and Nick are in Middle America. I feel like y'all will hear shit, like real shit from white people in the area more than I would hear on the coast. But so where do you hear it, Rome? Or have you heard like an explanation other than just some
I heard enough to put a theory together that white women is the reason why racism is so rampant today. And like Nick was just saying, like, oh, I just got one racist uncle, he's a fucking cop or a lawyer or whatever.
Or their manager. What are they a manager and they're racist? Like
they lay with these men, have children and don't teach them differently. You know what I'm saying? Don't teach their offspring differently. And let them grow up around this racism and hate. Don't even tell them like, oh, well, don't be like your dad. And when we tell them like, hey, this dude is racist. What the fuck? He just called me the N-word, talk about hanging this and that. Oh, he's a good dude. He pays bills and he take care of his children. But to us, this nigga out here, you know, he put on that badge and he go out there harassing our neighborhood. And they raise the next generation just like them. White women don't say a damn thing. And then they act like they are damsel in distress amongst it all. Like you haven't gave birth to this and watch racism and hate grow from out your own, like from your own roots. Racism have grown, you know, and this is, I'm not saying white women is the reason. I'm saying white women has kept racism alive because they know damn well if we had a change, if we really had a change of a system.
I think I read what you're saying as the opposite way. Maybe this is a way they'll feel better hearing it. Racism can be stopped by white women.
It can, because they I mean, look at even the voting.
That's what I'm hearing you saying.
Even their voting records. Look at it. Oh, we vote Democrat for the presidential election, but you voting Republican. You know what I'm saying? Or they gave us Trump. They gave us, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Then now they gave us Biden. They give us nothing but white supremacy.
You set up this video that I was already about to play, but you talk about what this guy answers right here. Like, how is it that you're seeing this go on and nothing is being said? I'm sure all of you have seen this video because this went viral. So let's just hear a tidbit of his explanation.
Folks, I hate to say it, but white folks are largely professional gaslighters when it comes to race. We are professional liars when it comes to race. It's part of white supremacy and how it functions and how it works. From the very first African that was enslaved, we have been gaslighting Black folks as white people. That's our culture. That's our tradition. That's our indoctrination. And that's what we do. And that's what we do best. We lie every single day. And we lie to Black people. We lie to each other. We lie to ourselves about race. We gaslight. Gaslight, if you don't know, it's a psychological term. It's where the abuser tells the victim that this reality of you being abused is not really happening. It's just something in your imagination. You're being paranoid. You're being too sensitive. All this abuse is not real. And if it is real, it's only because you deserved it.
Is that not what they say about the shootings?
Man.
About Black people? Like, that shit is spot on what he says here. I don't know if one of you wanted to chime in, or I can keep playing it. You let me know. I can keep playing it, and if you want to chime in later, let's do that. Or go ahead, JB.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in and say this because a lot of times when people think of racism, they think of the men in white hoods on horses and burning things down. Number one, a racist can wear a suit. Number one, a lot of people don't realize that. Number two, I'm going to speak very clearly into the microphone so you guys can hear my voice. Racists can be nice. And by nice, I don't mean kind. Kindness and niceness are two different things. Racists can be nice. They can actually sound very sweet. They can be this old grandma and sound very nice. They can sound just like this, and then they will say things about Black people when everybody is just out of earshot. And they will do that. And guess what? They will talk about nigger this and nigger that. And then they will talk about how they don't want their grandbabies to be brown. And guess what? They're racist. But then they'll say, bless your heart. And guess what? Those are also the racists. This is why it's important to let people know that even the people who sound friendly, who appear to be friendly, are racist. Look at Joe Biden. Everybody sees him with aviators looking at ice cream cone. And everybody's like, oh, he's Uncle Joe. But yeah, Uncle Joe is also a racist. Because guess what? When I was showing my stream earlier on my channel earlier today, I was showing the Senate committee that was speaking to Anita Hill. And who was in between? Who was on the other sides of Joe Biden? It was Strom Thurmond and Ted Kennedy. Strom Thurmond is a known segregationist and racist. Ted Kennedy is also accused of murdering someone. And then you have Joe Biden in the middle, who is also known as a racist and alleged rapist. So you have a racist, alleged rapist, and a murderer all sitting there questioning a Black woman. And so guess what? Just because they sound nice doesn't mean that they're kind. Kind people are not racist.
Right. All right, let's finish out this. And I know everybody's like, this is just the introduction, but we're fired up about this particular topic. And he breaks it down even more. Let's listen.
I was trying to help you. It's justified somehow. We have always justified our racism. And if we're not justifying it, we're denying it. If we're not denying it, then we're deflecting it. The last thing white people would do is simply acknowledge the truth racially. That's why I say we're bullshit artists. We are professional fucking liars and gaslighters. That's exactly what we do as white people, and that's the fucking truth. And if you deny it, you're a fucking liar. 90% of white people today, right now in America, no matter how young or how old, we've been so profoundly indoctrinated that we cannot simply acknowledge the truth racially. Can't do it. And if we do it, there's a but or a deflection. Can't do it. 90% of us will not do it.
They go that stripper's ass.
So this is why.
They go that stripper's ass. We always mention our RBN. It's big. It's a big ass butt. Because even with some of our white comrades, we was warning them. I said, look, I'm going to cut you off. If you vote for Joe Biden, I'm going to cut you off. You're going to get people killed. Blood is on your hands. Don't do it. But Trump, but this, I was scared. But that, you come with all types of butts. You know, you come with everything but a fight. Everything but different ways to how to change the system. And when it's time for us to challenge the system, you telling me that I'm too violent while I watch my country bomb the shit out of the world. But I'm too violent for wanting to stop the violence overall. You see how how this shit goes back to these people keeping racism alive and well, because they know if we have changed the system, they will not benefit as much as they would. Even poor white women benefit from white supremacy. Whether they get... you might not be in a house, you might not have generational wealth, but you can do lots of things that black women can't do. You can go in lots of places that I can't go in, like sundown towns, right? Thousands of them, just in the upper part of America. This isn't like, come on, man.
Yeah, we covered an article when I had Courtney Banks on. We covered an article where they compared upwardly mobile or economically stable black women's birth rate and poor white women, and poor white women had a better outcome. So, anyway, we can keep going on and on with this. The point is, we have a young man that has been shot. The treatment that the person who has shot him is not even handed as if it was us or a person of color, whether brown, whether indigenous. Like, it would not be the same outcome at all. The language of that, I think she was the chief of police, the language that she used, and being very careful to make sure we want to point out this is about going by the steps. It has nothing to do with us being an arm of racism as a police state. It's just that we're just following steps, everybody. That's all.